Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your October 31st, 2020 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be located in the description box below. Now, before I begin this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. And I want to apologize about my voice. I do have a bit of a cold. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body, like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into the safe and loving space. All right. Let's let the bowls sing. As I move your Queen of the Moon and your Moonology cards over to the side. These will be layered on top of the tarot to really give the moon a voice of her own. Let's see what the tarot has to say. How will Aquarius be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels, and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. And we have 2 bonus cards right here. Okay. So the left-hand side, this is the inner self. The middle is the heart, the emotional self. And the right-hand side is the public arena, the public self. Then you have 2 bonus cards. Here is the moon laid out for us. And I'll get to that in just a minute. So let's see. We start off with the 2 of Wands. Doors are opening. The 9 of Swords, doubts and fears, nightmares, upsets, upheavals. Doubting, can I move forward? Do I know where I want to be? The Hermit, taking a time to really focus on you, on what you desire, on where it is that you want to be. This is also Virgo energy, a time frame of August 23rd to September 22nd. And then you have the King of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This very much connects you with the Scorpio full new moon, the Scorpio new moon on the 15th of November. We have Justice coming in, Libra time frame, a time frame of September 23rd to October 22nd. Okay, a balancing of the scales, but also a discernment of the self. You have the Sun coming in, which I love that next to the doubts and the fears. You have glory coming forward, which is beautiful. You have the 5 of Swords. Here, something karmic is coming to a head. And you have the 6 of Pentacles. So this is my Minor Arcana Justice card. And you have the Major Arcana Justice card right here, a balancing of the scales, a justice coming forward. This is going to be very important for you to be able to move past this karmic time and to embrace something beautiful that's on the horizon, and this beauty that's shining within your heart, within your soul, within yourself. This then moves you to the Three of Wands. Again, new horizons. This is seeing your ships come in and also setting sail on new adventures. You have the Two of Cups right here, healing, beautiful love coming into your life, really moving you forward. Then we have the Emperor, which is Aries energy, a time frame of March 21st to April 19th. This is claiming your throne. This is knowing that, yes, I'm not perfect, but who the heck is? And you claim your throne with power, with a surety of self, with determination. And then we end with the Three of Pentacles. So you are crowned with the Three of Wands, passion and creativity. And you are rooted with the Three of Pentacles, prosperity, abundance, bounty that you have crafted. Others may try to take credit for it, most definitely, but you have crafted this for yourself. You then have the Four of Wands. This is a beauty that cannot be denied, that cannot be taken away. And then you have the Seven of Wands. Choose your battles wisely, but do not be a rug. So that's going to be astoundingly important, you know? All right, so let's talk about this moon. This moon hasn't been seen in 19 years. It is a full moon on Shamwin, on Halloween. It is a blue moon, so it's super rare and it's super powerful. This is a full moon in Taurus, and this says here your dreams need practical plans. And then with the blue moon, believe in the impossible. Your dreams need practical plans, so believe in the impossible. Believe that you can set into motion something that you might have been being stalled about before. You know, you get so far and then you just lose the energy, you lose the drive. Here, this is the most solid and the most sensual of the moons, you know, of the phases of the moon. So here, with the full moon in Taurus, with this full moon being the most solid, the most sensual, you are really embracing the powers of what you desire, of how you want to move forward. You're not in a hurry to make really big changes, though opportunities and prosperity is opening up to you, and we can see that here more absolutely clearly. But there is also a sense here of wanting to have a solid foundation before you move forward, and that's just wise. That's just common sense. You know, don't go, you know, jumping off into, you know, chaos without having a solid foundation before you. And so here, you're not in a big hurry to change things up so profoundly, but you are moving in a sense where you are really embracing a change that is coming, a power that is setting you forward, but you're planning it out. And you're planning it out really quite beautifully. You're using your knowledge, you're using your logic, you're planting your seeds, you're being very wise. You are being very wise during this time. You have the repeat of the number 9, so you're coming very close to a completion of a cycle. And as you face the blue moon, this is cultivating your patience, but also building your power. It's like the saying, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. That's absolutely true. And Rome didn't fall in a day. It all takes time. And so here, you're looking at that really openly and really honestly with yourself. And it calls us to take a step back, to take time out, and to see where it is that we need to be, where it is that we want to be, body, mind, and spirit. And as we do so, Shaman, Halloween, calls us to release what no longer serves. It's like, okay, why am I carrying this around with me? Why am I, and that's what you're seeing here with this karmic pattern. It's like you're looking inward and you're like, why am I carrying this around with me? Why do I need to relive this? But there's worries, there's doubts, and there's fears that the prosperity that you've built will fall apart because you're used to things falling apart. You know, once you have things kind of blow up in your face once, it makes you gun shy. It makes you afraid to move forward with the assurity that you might have done years ago or before that failure came in. And now you're kind of defining yourself off of that failure. This blue moon says believe in the impossible. Believe in the beauty, in the prosperity, in the bounty. That is you. It might seem impossible, but now it's time to start to believe in it. We face our fears and difficult truths during this time. And it's not going to be easy, no, but nothing worth having ever is. And so as we face our fears and as we give voice to difficult truths, we see ourselves moving forward. And this is a time where, yeah, emotions can take over and they can be tumultuous and intense. But this is a time where the veil between the spirit world and the earthly world is the thinnest. And so our fears can be seen by our ancestors, can be seen by the spirit guides that move us forward. And it's like, no, there's something great here. There's something more than you had ever realized coming forward for you. And as you have this power coming to you, you're surrendering to the divine. It's like, I surrender to this higher power. I surrender to this grace, to this, spotlight of who I am, of where I want to be, of what I desire, because the moon shines this on us more readily than we even think. And it gives us power. Aquarius, it really does give us power to move forward in our grace, in our determination. And as you do so, you're going to see, come the 15th of November, you're going to be looking at things quite differently, because here you're setting up the foundation. You're kind of getting comfortable. It's kind of like that cozy blanket, the nice warm socks, the cozy slippers. You're sitting down, you're getting comfortable, and you're looking at a plan. You're looking at what it is that you desire. You're seeing connections that you haven't seen before, and your dreams are getting a practical plan for you to move forward in this life to the place that you want to be, and not always have it be, oh, I could have, I should have, I would have. And so here with Scorpio, on the 15th of November, you're going to see a purge of the poison. And we see that with the facing of nightmares. It's like, what has held me back, I'm not going to let rule my life anymore. And this says, work through your fears. It brings you to beginnings and to knowing that a new start is coming as you step through the threshold that our fears hold us back in. And you work through your fears to move forward in power, to move forward in prosperity, to move forward in determination, to move forward towards what is greater and towards what needs to be yours. And as you do so, you ignite the path forward for you. And you really sit there and you see where it is that you want to be, what it is that you desire, what it is that you need. And come the 30th of November, you are ready for the answers that are given to you during the full moon in Gemini. Because it says here, answers you need are coming. And this full moon is part of a lunar eclipse. So it says conclusions are within reach. The answers are coming and conclusions are within reach. So you're going to see that all the planning that you're doing, all the purging that you're doing, all the centering on your power and on yourself is really moving you forward to a really great place. So great place, Spirit is saying, great place might be a little bit too intense, but it's a place where answers come. And for me, that's a great place. It's a place where you start to see the puzzle pieces fitting together. And for me, that's a great place. So that is how I'm seeing it for you, Aquarius. And I'm really rather excited for you. Now, for one day in October, on the 31st of October, we have the spirit animal of the crow and of the dove. And I love this because the crow and the dove are so incongruous. They just don't seem to go together. You couldn't have, in my opinion, two different birds if you tried. So the crow is saying co-create with spirit. The dove is saying be peace. The crow is a harbinger of destruction, of death. Because in ancient times, when you had a battle, the fallen were on the battlefield, the crows would come because they're carnivores. And it just makes sense. But because of that, we have in our cellular memory that negative connotation when it comes to crows, when it comes to ravens, because they're really quite brilliant birds and, in my opinion, quite lovely. And so here with the crow spirit, it's calling us towards change because it's calling us to facing what we would rather not face, what we would rather, turn our backs from. And as we face this, we face the sacred law of ourselves. We face that what we destroy will become part of us, and what falls away becomes part of our knowledge, our souls, and ourselves. It's like the Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail. And here, that's the sacred law that we entrust in. And then we start trusting in our personal integrity, our personal intuition, and we start speaking our truth. Because we've seen the darkness and we've seen the light. And it's like, okay, I exist in between this. I'm not perfect, and I am not, a monster. So in between lies my truth, lies my power. And this is something that you're really going to be connecting with on Halloween. And so here, it leads you to a personal transformation that brings messages to you, that brings you to a place forward, in a way, moving forward that you didn't think you could be. And the being peace, the dove says here, I'm bringing you messages of peace and of hope, especially when your hearts are hurting and when the times are the toughest. And this has been, in our world, it's like unprecedented. This is so out of our comfort zones. So whose heart isn't hurting? Who isn't despairing at times with everything so intense? And this brings us gentle compassion. And this brings us releasing of the pain that holds us back. And it's like through this gentle compassion, I move you forward in this grace, in this determination. And then come October, the spirit animals for October are the snake spirit and are the electric eel. Well, not the electric eel, the eel spirit. I only have the electric eel cards. So the snake spirit is really quite interesting because it says time to heal. And when we look at this, you can look at the snake for me brings up two images. One is of the fall of man, of course, and then the other is the healing staff, and I believe it is pronounced Asclepian, that the staff of healing that we still use in medicine today. So one brings forward the fall, the other brings forward healing. And that's what this time is. It's a fall from our comfort, a fall from kind of our safety net, our comfort zones, where it is that how it is we thought we would be moving forward and how it is we're actually moving forward. The snake spirit really has us focusing on healing opportunities and a change, a shedding of a skin, but it also makes us vulnerable. Because when we shed a skin, when a snake sheds a skin, its eyesight isn't as good, it's not as tough, it takes time, so it becomes much more aggressive. And we can find this in ourselves during this time. We can become a little bit more aggressive because we're a little bit more vulnerable than we want to be. Because all of this is being brought up, all this power, all this planting of seeds, all this harnessing of our truths. And what we're seeing here is that we are stepping out of the darkness into knowledge, which for me is how I view, the snake and the serpent and the fall of man. So here, that is so important. It's like we're stepping out of childhood. And you might sit there and laugh and say, Dane, I haven't been a child for a really long time. But we're stepping out of idealism and stepping into our truths. And sometimes they're a lot harsher truths than maybe we would want to face. But they're powerful and they're meaningful. And that's where the eel spirit comes in. And it says, bring your ideas to life. Have them charged. Have them charged with your healing. Have them charged with your energy of creation. Because this brings your emotions to a head. This shows you your true strength. And this gives you foresight towards the future. Because what you're looking at here is a powerful abundance of self. What you're looking for here is a way to move forward. Because you have thought, Aquarius, like, I can't move forward that way. I can't be that. And what you're seeing is like, yes, I can. Yes, I can move forward in this truth. Yes, I can open up the world to me. Yes, I can. Because the world in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this is a person holding the world in their hands, standing between two wands. And it's like you hold the world in your hands. It's not as scary, as vast, as terrifying a place as we make it out to be. And so you're starting to see this. You're starting to see that, yeah, I have gifts. Yeah, I have talents. Yes, I can move forward this way. And it's really combating the nightmares that have kept you held back, that have kept you small, that have kept you quiet, that made you think, oh no, I couldn't do this. Oh no, I don't get to be this. And the Nine of Swords can be that you need to rest more. It can be that you're not having good night's sleeps, that there is a sense here of just kind of biting off too much, more than you can chew. And there is also a sense here of needing to step back, needing to embrace calm, needing to embrace a peace within yourself. Because there's always going to be trials and tribulations. There's always going to be things that we look at and say, oh, wow, I can't do that. Or, oh, wow, that seems impossible. And if we focus on that fear, if we sit there and we let it grow, as we usually do, before nipping it in the bud and saying, you don't get to have that control over me, we see us then moving forward and facing these fears, facing these nightmares that had us hiding when we were small, or that had us hiding when we didn't believe in ourselves. And it's like, no more. No more, because I am looking inward. I am turning inward to the hermit. And you might say, Tane, I've had enough of the hermit time. I mean, seriously, what has lockdown been? What has everything been? And it's like, fair, absolutely fair. But it is also a sense here of connecting with you, purely, openly, and honestly. And I don't believe we can do that too often. I don't believe we can do that too much. The connecting with the sacred truth of your heart, of your soul, of yourself is powerful, it is brilliant, and it is impactful. And as you connect, you start to see yourself becoming more grounded. It's like that beautiful tree. I always say with air sign energies, I myself am an air sign energy. We're like the birds flying in the skies, but we need a tree. We need that place to come home to. And that's what you're looking at here. You're looking at, like, what do I want my home to be like? What do I want my safe, prosperous, beautiful place to be? And how do I move forward in that? Because now you're defending your heart's truth. Inwardly, you're looking at it and saying, how do I connect? How do I plant the seeds of greatness to live my dreams? How do I purge the poison? And how do I find the truth? Really hear the answers that are coming my way. And you move forward. You move forward slowly and steadily, openly and honestly, connecting with your heart. And why is that important? I believe that we're emotional beings. As emotional beings, we need to connect with our hearts. And so often we don't. We go to one extreme or another. Either we're all emotion, which makes us, just unreasonable and chaotic, or we're all logic. And we find it very hard to find that middle ground, to embrace that middle ground and say, okay, this is logic, this is emotion, and this is where I stand for me and in my truth. And that's what you're doing during this time. You're having this connection because the heart leads to justice. It leads to a discernment. And I like that. I like being discerning. It's not discriminating, though, you could word it that way if you wanted to, but I feel like that's a bit of a far reach. It's saying, I don't need to take everything, okay? I cannot have everybody's hand come out and say, I need. It's like, it's too much. You cannot be just to everybody. You're going to wind up hurting somebody's feelings somewhere along the line, no matter how careful you think you're being. It's unfortunate, yes, but we all come to the table with different gifts, with different definitions of words. I remember I was reading a journal one time, and they said that most of the arguments that people have are not because of what exactly they're saying, but how they are saying it and how the words are interpreted. And so for being just for you is balancing those scales, balancing that truth, looking at what you desire, looking at what you want, looking at what you need. And you're seeing that as you balance the scales, you balance your heart, your soul, yourself, your passion, your intuition, your power. And it's justice. It's not justice for everybody else because you can't do that. It's not white page, black print. It's not the law, It's justice for you as an individual. And it's saying, be discerning. Don't let everybody, excuse my language, but what Spirit is saying is like, don't let everybody crap all over you. Sit there and say, no, I won't take this. Okay? Or, okay, fair, I get that. But, sit there and really draw the lines and stick to them. It's going to be hard, most definitely. And people will rebel. But you will actually see, Aquarius, that this light shines in you and around you. And it's like, oh, great, now you get to enjoy it. Now you get to see it. Now you get to be a part of it. Isn't that awesome? This light that shines on you, that the sun that is a part of you. And what is the moon but a reflection of the sun's light? And the sun is happiness, it's joy, it's prosperity, it's bounty, it's stepping into your light and your truth. It's the happiest card in the whole entire tarot deck. And here, it's at your heart. It's like once you are discerning, once you bring that justice into your life, you have that radiance that guides you forward. And you're going to be facing, as you turn inward, you're going to be facing karmic debts, karmic truths, things that have come up in this life time and time again. And it can always be that if you're like me, you kind of ran away from it. You sat there and you're like, wow, it's too much, it's too intense, and you just kind of book it. It's like, I can't deal with this. But it can also be that you put everybody else first before yourself. And I'm not saying to be selfish, because I know that's like totally not an Aquarius thing. You guys will give and give and give and give and give till there is nothing left to give, and then you will try to give some more. And that is admirable, most definitely. Is it the best long-term strategy? Absolutely not. In facing karmic debts, and facing things that come up in lifetimes, there's a value to you that you have to see. And there's a cutting through doubts and fears and facing uncomfortable truths, because you are moving forward in your inner self and in the public arena in a way that you're like, finally, this is where I get to stand. But you are going to be facing something during this time, and it has you, as you turn inward, and it has you, claiming a throne, because you'd rather just kind of let it slide. You'd rather sit there and say, I don't want to make waves. I don't need to be a part of this. I'm not saying to have a huge argument, but I am saying to walk in your light, your light. And I'm not saying this. Spirit is saying this. To walk in your light, to know your truth, to sit there and say, I matter. And mean that openly and honestly and fully, because you're balancing the scales. Okay? Everybody's hand out. They all want something. Everybody wants something. And it's like, no. But if you don't vocalize it, if you don't, sit there and speak for yourself, it won't happen. It won't happen because people aren't mind readers. People, or they'll interpret things and they'll look at things and be like, oh, okay, that's the way it is. Oh, okay, you're doing that. It's like, yeah, okay. But I need to have my balance, my time, my understanding. And that needs to be fair for you, because you're transforming. And you're transforming through this power, this brilliance. And as you do so, you're opening up a pathway. You're opening up a pathway to where you need to be. You're seeing your ships go out. You're seeing your ships come in. You're opening up to a greater future, to a greater power, to what it is that you desire. And it's like, finally, I can move forward in this truth. And it brings you to a healing, beautiful love. It brings you to a place where you feel calm, centered, and fully having a connection to what it is that you desire. This is healing, beautiful love that moves you forward. This is as the world opens and as you open to the world. It's like, oh yeah, I can move forward this way. Oh yeah, I can do this. You're going to see healing guiding you. You're going to see, a sense of being more than you expected. And it's like, oh, okay, I get this. I can have this. And it's like a sacred gift coming. And it's in the public arena. So what's really interesting about this is like it changes the way that you see things. It changes the way that you embrace things. It's like, oh, as I move forward, I'm focusing on the healing and letting this light shine forward. And are people going to take you by eyes? Absolutely. People are going to see this light and this healing, and they're not going to see the hardships, the pains, the disappointments, the angers, the upsets. That's just not the way they'll do it. They'll sit there and say, why do you get all this, Aquarius, and I don't? Why do you get to have happiness, joy, success, bounty, and I don't? So they'll take you by eyes. They'll say, why not me? And it's like, well, why not me? Why cannot I have this beauty be a part of my life? And this is really claiming your truth, claiming your power. And it has you claiming your throne. You have a repeat of the number 4 here. So taking care of yourself is so important. You have the repeat of the number 3. Creative spiritual energy is coming forward. But with the Emperor, okay, the Emperor claims his throne, falls and fails, but knows that this is his job. This is his job to make the rules, to move forward, to be the very best that he can be. And that is what you're having here. And that's the power that you're embracing. It's like, will I fall? Will I fail? Absolutely. Everybody does along this journey. And if they tell you they don't, they're lying. But what we do with those failures, how they mold our consciousness, how they move us forward to be more bountiful, more compassionate, more giving individuals, that's completely up to us. It can either make us cold and bitter and hard and resentful, or it can open our eyes to a whole new way of being and a whole new level of compassion, of grace, and of understanding as we claim this throne. And it moves us to prosperity. It moves us to bounty that shines its light down on us, that says, this is who I am. This is who I want to be. And this is where I move forward. Others will try to take credit for what I do. Don't let them. Others will try to tell me that it is not enough. Don't let them. Move forward in this light and let it color the way that you move forward. Let it color the steps that you take and the way that you see things through the eyes, through the lenses of success. It's like stained glass, okay? The light shines down. The stained glass shines down. It becomes beautiful. Life gets a depth of beauty to it. And you move forward here in prosperity. You move forward here in a celebration, in a prosperity, in a bounty that cannot be denied and cannot be taken from you. Well, cannot be taken from you. It's like spirit, that's like a little intense. But it's a celebration. It doesn't have to be that the whole neighborhood knows about it, the whole world knows about it. It can be a very calm, very quiet celebration. You reached a milestone. You are rejoicing. There's the archways here, the new beginnings, the release of the poison. I like to think, with seeing these roses, they're making me think of the Virgin Mary, who I have a very strong affinity for, or any deity of compassion here. And it's like that compassion, that blessing, that beauty moves you to a greater truth, to a greater power, to a greater sense of self. It's like, yes, this is what I'm working for. This is what I want within my life. It's opening up doorways that you might have thought were locked forever. And a celebration of the home. It's a celebration of the body. It's a celebration of the ways that you can move forward. And it brings you to the Seven of Wands. It brings you to standing your ground and knowing your truth, but also knowing that you cannot fight every single battle. It's too much. It's too much. Know that some people, their minds will never be changed. If they want to be foolish, let them be foolish. If they disagree with you, let them disagree. But it's time to move forward in the grace of your soul, in the power of your conviction. All right. So let's see what the moon has to say. How will Aquarius be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. How will Aquarius be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Okay. Patience. Hunger. Release. Attraction. What do you need to release? Prosperity lies ahead. Very strong connection to this Taurus full moon is here. Take time to breathe out. Don't let pride get in your way. Your hard work is paying off. I like that. So be patient, because the hunger is being released, kind of the doubts, the fears, the things that gnaw at us from the inside out. And it is, as you face the nightmares, as you see your world open up, be patient, because you're going to want it to move so much faster than it is. The hunger is released as you turn inward, as you look at what it is that's gnawing at you, as you look at what it is that's holding you back. And this is that release as you become the knight of your heart, as you fight for your truth, as you move forward. And this is very personal, okay? Others might not know that you're going through this. This is a very personal, very private, very powerful release. It attracts to you what you need. You're going to see during this time, as you are discerning, as you bring justice into your life, and as you let the sun shine brightly through you, in you, with you, at you, as this happiness, this joy, this prosperity, this success becomes a part of your emotional self. And it's like, I deserve this. You attract to you what you give out, what you need emotionally, what powers you and fuels you personally. And it leads you to facing a karmic debt. And it's saying here, what do you need to release? What is your go-to habit that doesn't seem to be getting you further in life? Is it believing that you're always wrong? Is it believing that you don't get to have a say? Is it being too combative? What is it? And here, is it always trying to make the peace? And here, it's like, I release that karmic imprint that is with me. And as I do so, I balance the scales, and prosperity lies ahead. It brings you then to taking time to breathe out, taking time simply to be. As you see opportunities coming your way, as your ships come in and your ships go out, and as you're sitting there and you're like, I can ride this wave, I can move forward. It's like, wow, I'm not trapped. And it brings you then to, which card was this? To a healing, yes. to a healing, to a peace. And it says here, don't let pride get in your way, right? Don't let pride get in your way. Don't let, pride cometh before the fall. But there's a sense here, like with the Aries energy, and this is of course Leo, the fire sign energy comes in, and it can be too aggressive, and it can be just a little bit too much for you, yourself. It's like, okay, how do I move forward? Where is it that I want to be? How is it that I desire embracing my prosperity, my success, my desire? And so here, it's not getting prideful, but you will have a tendency, Aquarius, to say, oh, I'm being too prideful, and go completely the opposite way. It's finding that middle ground. It's claiming your throne. And at times, yeah, you might have to be maybe a little bit braggadocious, maybe a little bit more, assured of yourself, sounding than you actually feel. That's not pride. That's working towards confidence, and that's obtaining confidence. So don't get those two confused during this time, because your hard work is paying off. Your hard work is paying off, and bounty is leading you forward. Your subconscious message for this time, when it comes to the moon, is the path. The path is opening to you. It's not what you expect, but it is opening to you. It then brings you to looking at the bigger picture and taking aim. Taking aim down the path that you want, towards the path that you need. And it brings you to the Page of Pentacles. It brings you to being a student of your prosperity, and again, solidifying and embracing that connection with the Taurus full moon. You're being a student of your prosperity, of your success, of your bounty, of your abundance. And you're going to see yourself moving forward in a very powerful way. Step back. Know that, you know what? I don't know all the answers, but I have a heck of a lot of questions. And I am planting the seeds to obtain guidance forward, because that is such a part of you during this moon. That guidance to have the dreams come true, to live the life that you desire. It might not be exactly as you desire it. That's cool. But it's more than you realized. All right, Aquarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we move forward in our grace and in our power, in our brilliance and in our truth, as we see ourselves as so much mightier than we ever expected. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius.